everyone. Welcome back to my channel Tesla Live to Learn. In previous videos, we have discussed problem solving techniques which are um, source transformation, voltage and current division, and resistance reduction techniques. And we have also solved a few problems on basics. Today, we are going to discuss very important topic of circuit theory, that is mesh analysis. So, before going to start mesh analysis, let us recall what is mesh, what is KVL, and what is Ohm's law. So, what is mesh? We discussed it earlier. A mesh is a closed path of an electric network in which there is no possible of another closed paths. Once again, a mesh is a closed path of an electric network in which there is no further closed paths in it. It is called mesh. And what is the Kirchhoff voltage law? Kirchhoff voltage law can be defined as sigma V in a mesh equal to 0. Algebraic sum of voltages in a mesh is equal to 0 is KVL, and I think we no need to discuss Ohm's law. V equal to IR, everyone is familiar with that. So one simple technique, please remember this simple note: voltage source must be equal to voltage drop in a closed path. So that is the KVL, summary of the KVL. For KCL, we discussed incoming current must be equal to outgoing currents. Similarly, sum of the voltage sources is equal to sum of the voltage drops is KVL. So, what are all the steps involved in mesh analysis? Identify meshes and assign a mesh currents in a clockwise direction. By using KVL and Ohm's law, write down the mesh equations and solve that. So let us start with solving problems. We can easily understand while solving problems. So let us move to problems now. Write down the KVL equations for the circuit shown in below. So this is the writing KVL equation is very important thing in mesh analysis. So let us consider this circuit. There are three loops, three meshes here: one, two, and three. I1 is current flowing through this mesh which is in clockwise direction. I2 is current flowing through this loop or this mesh, that is I2, and I3 is current flowing through this loop. So let us write KVL equation for loop 1. We are going from voltage source, starting with the negative terminal of voltage source. So we took as minus 45. Once again, please remember this thing. While moving, we started with negative terminal, so we wrote minus 45 plus 10 into, we are applying Ohm's law here, 10 into current through this branch. Current through this branch. What is current through this branch? I1, which is coming like this, and I2, which is moving upwards, and I1 is coming downwards. I1 what is the resultant? I1 minus I2 into 10 ohm. We applied Ohm's law here, nothing is there. Please remember, writing KVL equation is very simple. Mesh equation is combination of KVL and Ohm's law. So let us move to this resistor, 10 ohm into, what is the resultant current? Current I1 is flowing like this and I3 flowing in opposite direction. What is the resultant current? I1 minus I3 is resultant current, which is multiplied by 10 ohm, which gives voltage drop across this. So we equalized that to 0 according to KVL. So sum of the all voltages in a loop is 0. That is equation for loop 1, so we treat it as 1. And let us write equation for loop 2. We are moving in clockwise direction. While we are moving, we started with the positive terminal of voltage, so we wrote 120 volt plus 120 volt. Here we started with negative terminal, so we wrote 45 minus 45 there, and here we started from positive terminal, so we wrote plus 120, and voltage drop across 15 ohm resistor is 15 into current through this I2. I2. And now what is the current flowing through this resistor 5 ohm? I2 is coming like this, and I3, both are in opposite direction. Resultant is I2 minus I3 into 5 ohm plus this 10 ohm resistor into current through this branch, which is I2 is flowing like this and I1 is coming like this. Resultant is I2 minus I1, which is equal to 0 according to KVL. So please observe one thing. While writing Ohm's law here, we took it as I1 minus I2. While writing Ohm's law for loop 2, we took it as I2 minus I1 for same resistance. So if we are writing for loop 1, we must treat it as I1 minus I2. If we are writing for loop 2, we must treat it as I2 minus I1. Let us write KVL equation for third one. So we are moving in clockwise direction. I3 is this one. We started from negative terminal of battery. So minus 20 volt plus this resultant current in this branch, that is I3 is flowing like this and I1 is flowing like this. Both are in opposite direction. I3 minus I1 into 10. Similarly, in this branch, I3 minus I2 into 5, and final element 5 ohm resistor is there. Current through this 5 ohm resistor is I3. 5I3 is equal to 0. We equalized all voltage drop and so current source, voltage source, everything we converted into voltage equation, and we must equal it to 0 to satisfy KVL. So that is how we write Kirchhoff laws uh, for given mesh analysis. So let us move to another problem. If we solve this one, it is very useful. Determine voltage V by using mesh analysis. So this is the circuit. This voltage we need to find out. Let us write loop equation for loop 1. So starting from negative terminal of battery, minus 10 volt. This current flowing through this is I1 minus I3 into 1 ohm, and current flowing through this branch I1 minus I2 into 1 ohm, that equal to 0. Once again, minus 10 I1 minus I3 into 1, I1 minus I2 into 1, which is equal to 0. When you simplify this, we'll get 2I1 minus I2 minus I3 equal to 0. This is loop 2. When we write a loop equation, let us observe one thing. What is the branch current? Here there is a current source in this branch. So what is the branch current? 2 ampere, which is nothing but I2 in flowing in opposite direction. So I2 flowing in opposite direction is nothing but 2 ampere current source. So directly we can write it as I2 equal to minus 2 ampere, isn't it? Observe once again, current through this branch is I2, and since there is a current source in this branch which is in opposite direction of I2, we directly write it as I2 equal to minus 2 ampere. using second equation, put equation number 2 in 1, so we'll get 2i1 minus i3 equal to 8. Let us treat it as a, and let us write loop equation for loop 3. So starting from this, 2i3 Ohm's law, 2 into i3, and i3 minus i2 into 1, 1 ampere current is not 1 ampere, 1 ohm resistor is there, no? I3 minus I2 into 1 ohm. Directly I wrote it as I3 minus I2. Similarly, I3 minus I1 into 1 ohm resistor, I simply wrote it as I3 minus I1 equal to 0. Once again, so we started from here, 2 I3 minus I2 into 1, and I3 minus I1 into 1 equal to 0. That is what we have written here. When we simplify that, we'll get minus I1 plus 4i3 equal to minus 2. This is equation B. From A and B equations, I1 equal to 30 by 7 ampere. I think you are familiar with solving equation, so I am not discussing that. Uh, A and B, from A and B, I1 equal to 30 by 7 ampere, and from by substituting I1 value, we are getting I3 equal to 4 ampere, and we need to find out voltage V. What is voltage V? Is resistance 2 ampere. I3 is flowing through 2 ohm resistor. The voltage drop across the 2 ohm resistor is voltage V, that we need to find out. We got the I3 as 4 ampere, and let us multiply it with the 2 ohm resistor. 4 into 2, 8 volt is the voltage drop across this resistor, that we have find out by using mesh analysis. Let us move to another problem. This is very tricky and very easy also. Just look at the circuit. There is a current source in between these two. So to write the loop equation, we have one current source in between these two. This is called super mesh analysis. So it is very difficult to understand for beginners. So I am assuming imaginary voltage source Vx here to analyze mesh analysis. So let us assume voltage drop across 4 ampere voltage source is Vx. This is imaginary. This was not given in question. So we have assumed here to understand easily. So let us write loop equation. Minus 40, starting from here, we are moving in clockwise direction. Minus 40 plus 2i1 plus Vx. This is 2. 2i1 plus Vx plus 3i1 is equal to 0. So we got 5i1 plus Vx equal to 0, which is, let us treat it as first equation. And for loop 2, we are moving in clockwise direction. Minus Vx 1 ohm into I2, and 4 ohm into I2. Minus Vx I2 plus 4i2 equal to 0. 5i2 minus Vx is equal to 0. Let us treat it as second equation. If we observe, what is the current flowing through this branch? I2 and I1. Difference of I2 and I1 is flowing through this branch, and this is in upward direction. When we observe directions in this branch, I2 is flowing upwards, and I1 is flowing downwards. So difference of I2 minus I1, 4 ampere moving upwards. So greater value is I2, so that only this 4 ampere is flowing upward direction. So let us write that equation also. I2 minus I1 equal to 4 ampere. That is third equation. From equation 1 to, we can write it as I1 plus I2 equal to 8. from equation number 3 and 4. When we solve that, I1 plus I2 equal to 8, I2 minus I1 equal to 4. When we solve that, uh, I2 is 6 ampere and I1 is 2 ampere. I think you understood the problem. We just assumed a imaginary voltage source Vx here to understand easily. So we write the loop equations and we did solve for I1 and I2. We got the equation as this I1 plus I2 equal to 8 from these loop 1 and loop 2 equations. And when we observe this branch current, that is I2 is flowing upwards and I1 is coming downwards. Difference of this I2 minus I1 is branch current, which is 4 ampere, is also moving in upward direction. So I2 is greater value compared to I1. I2 minus I1 equal to 4 ampere. We took it as that one. When we solve this equation number 3 and equation number 4, we got I2 is equal to 6 ampere and I1 equal to 2 ampere. Thank you friends. And in next video we are going to analyze nodal analysis, then circuit theorems. Please comment below if you have any doubts.